From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We're tracking a very light band of rainfall that is very slowly making its way off towards the east, although it's not all light rainfall. We're seeing this patch of some heavier, moderate to heavy rainfall up towards Hanford. This is going to continue to slide down 240 throughout the rest of this morning, so just something to keep in mind. But we are thinking in the Tri-Cities, really after 11 a.m., it should turn mostly dry out there. But even after that, the wind's still going to be a big factor, especially in the Kittitas Valley. They're already gusting upwards of 35 miles per hour. And we're also seeing this band of southwesterly wind gust up around 30 miles per hour in Hermiston. So that's something that's going to impact us throughout the rest of today. Right now, temperatures for lower elevations in the 50s, so it feels mild unless you're in one of those gusts of wind, then it's not going to feel as mild out there. So for today, 60s and 70s across the map. Again, mostly dry after 11 a.m. The bottom line for the forecast, dealing with the winds through tonight, turning summer-like by the end of this week, but then back to spring weather this weekend as a storm system is going to shake up our picture once again. I'll tell you about all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, gunshots rang out near a Kennewick Safeway last night. We have the latest details on that and where the investigation stands.
Plus a power struggle in Franklin County, why the sheriff says he's standing firm in a fight over guns, guards, and control of the jail.
And Kennewick, ranking as one of the best cities to live in the U.S. We'll break down what earned the Tri-Cities the top spot for a second year in a row.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica DeLong.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Tuesday, April 29th, and we do start with developing news this morning out of Kennewick, where police responded to reports of shots fired. It happened just last night around 6:30 near Clearwater and Fillmore.
That's right, and officers found 2 shell casings, but didn't know if anyone had been hit. They also contacted local hospitals to check for any related injuries. Police told Apple Valley News Now they believed that someone fired from a moving vehicle. Officers were investigating at 2 locations. KPD also deployed drones and K-9 units during the search near the Clearwater Square apartments. By around 7:45 p.m., 3 suspects were taken into custody, and one of them was a young man who was wanted by Pasco police for robbery.
And one person was sent to the hospital after a rollover crash on I-82 eastbound, right near the bridge from Richland to Pasco. It happened just before 11 yesterday morning. Washington State Patrol saying it was a single vehicle crash. Take a look at images from the scene yesterday. The driver told troopers that a tire blew out, causing him to lose control of the vehicle and then roll several times into the median. Washington State Patrol added that they actually responded to several accidents that day, which they say is unusual for this time of year.
It's clear outside, the roadways are dry, but they've investigated several similar collisions, and the majority of these collisions are caused by speed, inattention, and following too close. So if we could just get drivers to realize that driving is the most dangerous thing they're going to do on a daily basis. So when they get behind the wheel, please focus 100% on getting to your destination safely, and just be courteous to other drivers around you.
Washington State Patrol telling us that the driver in this situation on I-82 was wearing his seatbelt at the time of the accident, and they just want to make it a reminder for drivers to always buckle up.
Now to a fire that broke out at a business in Pasco on North 3rd Avenue. Crews responded to the fire at a commercial building. This happened just before 10 p.m. last night. When they arrived, they found a small fire burning near the doorway. They searched the warehouse to make sure that no one was trapped inside.
We got dispatched at 9:41. Our first arriving crews were there at 9:52, and then we had it under control at 10:24. It's probably 15 to 20 minutes we had it under control.
Pasco fire crews were assisted by Kennewick Fire and Franklin County Fire District 3. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the fire caused damage to the door, the doorway, and some materials inside the building. The cause is still under investigation.
6:04 now to a follow-up on the Retreat fire. That fire burned over 45,000 acres last summer, happened just west of Natchez. We're now learning that the road work for post-fire repairs is going to start soon. May 5th is when they plan to start. It'll continue through July. Forest visitors should prepare for some minor delays, and these will be on Forest Roads 1400, 235, and 1401, all in the Oak Creek area of the Natchez Ranger District. Travelers are also advised to watch out for construction equipment along these roads and also other maintenance work like cleaning ditches, laying gravel, creating rolling drainage dips, and installing some culvert inlet modifications.
And things are heating up in Franklin County. The Sheriff Jim Raymond says he's standing his ground both literally and legally in a messy power struggle over guns, guards, and control of the jail. The incident started last week when Franklin County commissioners swiftly stripped the sheriff's office of jail and security duties. In response, the sheriff grabbed 50 guns from the facility despite a judge had ordered a temporary restraining order. However, Sheriff Raymond claims those guns belong to his department, not the jail, and he also claims he's just following the law by making sure he's protected as well.
All ammunition is stored in an armory, an alarmed armory, okay? Today, when I recovered the weapons, no ammunition. So we're currently collecting all the ammunition and going to inventory and place it back in armory.
The sheriff says legally only his department should be storing them. Meanwhile, the Franklin County administrator says they're worried about the safety of the jail and that Sheriff Raymond defied a court order by taking those guns in the first place.
6:06, and for the second year in a row, Kennewick has been named one of the best places to live in the entire U.S.
How exciting! So every year, Livability conducts a list of the top 100 places to live, and Kennewick came out as the 50th best place, and the list is derived from data that looks at many different factors.
Yeah, some of the things that put Kennewick on the top is it ranked high for its transportation, housing, cost of living, and its environment. It specifically noted the many outdoor amenities like Badger Mountain and also the Columbia, Snake, and Yakima rivers.
It also noted the city's noteworthy wine scene with more than 200 wineries within a 1-hour radius. Also, Vancouver, Washington made the list at number 23, and Spokane made the list at number 60.
And 3 cities in Oregon also making the list, including Gresham, Salem, and Eugene. And if you're curious about what made number 1, that would be Flower Mound, Texas, a place you're very familiar with.
It is so close to my hometown, so excuse me, I'm surprised. I'm getting choked up thinking about how it's number 1.
Flower Mound.
Yeah, so kind of random, but hey, I mean, it's known for its wildflowers, I guess.
I love it.
Apparently. Well, you can find more of the cities at livability.com.
Have you been there and you have not seen wildflowers?
No, I've been there several times. Like, I drive through it all the time.
No wildflowers?
No.
Clearly you're going through the wrong season.
I know. Apparently, I don't know Flower Mound like I should. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Donald Trump promised big changes in his first 100 days in office. And coming up, we take a look at what he's accomplished so far and what still lies ahead.
But first, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Dust Devils Stadium camera in Pasco. When we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. It is 6:07. We're back after the break.
What does it mean to be here for good? It means being here for the artists who dream, the shop owner who knows your order by heart, and the mentors who leave a lasting impact. Here for singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and big comeback stories. Here for the long haul from Omak to Sandpoint to Baker City. Here for your family, your neighbors, for you. STCU. Here for good.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Farxiga. with Steel Battery. Double your runtime. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tools. Shop in-store and online.
Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Ready for a weekend family getaway?
A lot of people come out to go fishing, wakeboarding, water skiing, jet skiing. You can do pretty much all your water sports.
Well then, you'll want to watch Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have a wind advisory that's in place for the Kittitas Valley. This runs from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's been issued by the National Weather Service in Pendleton. If you want to read more about this, you can download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app for free on the App Store or on Google Play. And of course, we'll give you our take on what the winds are going to be like in the Kittitas Valley a little bit later in the show. But for now, here is your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. I'm thinking it's mostly going to be dry after 11 a.m. After that, should get a decent amount of sunshine and some high temperatures that'll feel seasonal for late. What's the month? It's late April. That's right. Okay, so for today, we're going to have, again, showers likely before 11 a.m. After that, it should be mostly dry out there, although we could have some residual showers up in the mountain ranges. And high temperatures for today, like I mentioned, pretty normal for late April, as we're going to end up in the 60s and 70s for lower elevations. Then for tonight, maybe a few showers left over, again, in the mountain ranges, but other than that, should be dry, should be mostly clear. Overnight lows are going to be noticeably colder compared to this morning, as we're going to be down into the 30s and 40s. But for lower elevations, you probably won't have to worry about protecting the outdoor pets, the plants, or the plumbing. Okay, as we head into the rest of this week, it is going to feel summer-like, especially by Friday. So I'll tell you just how warm we could be and then how we throw it in reverse and we cool things off again for this weekend. So I'll show you the ups and downs to the forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks. 12 minutes after 6 in your national headlines. Today, President Trump will mark 100 days in office of his second term. Now, he's taken action on several issues, including immigration, levying tariffs on other countries. And Trump has also come under some fire for some of the things that he has done so far. Karen Travers has more from Washington.
President Trump came into his second term promising swift change.
The golden age of America begins right now.
He hit the ground running, issuing more than 200 executive actions on his first day. He rescinded 78 Biden-era actions, declared a national emergency at the southern border, and commuted and pardoned January 6 rioters.
These people have been destroyed.
The president relying on executive actions to move his agenda forward, signing more than 140 since January 20th, according to the Federal Register. He has signed 5 bills into law. The first, the Laken Riley Act, named for the 22-year-old Georgia nursing student who was killed allegedly by an undocumented migrant. As he promised on the campaign trail, the Trump administration taking action on immigration. ICE raids across the country targeting undocumented migrants. The Department of Homeland Security claiming there have been 150,000 deportations so far. President Trump's biggest action on the economy, a sweeping set of steep tariffs on nearly 90 countries, a move he said would boost the economy and bring back manufacturing to the U.S.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day.
But the stock market took a nosedive. A week later, the president pausing the tariffs on most countries for 90 days.
We don't want to hurt countries that don't need to be hurt, and they all want to negotiate.
But the trade standoff with China continues, the president putting a 145% tariff on Chinese goods and China retaliating. Experts warning that if this continues, Americans could see higher prices or empty shelves. President Trump meeting twice at the White House with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as his administration works to secure the release of the remaining hostages held by Hamas. Trump vowed during the campaign to end the war between Russia and Ukraine on day one. In February, an explosive meeting in the Oval Office.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
President Trump put billionaire businessman Elon Musk in charge of reshaping the federal government, slashing the workforce and cutting costs.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
In just over 3 months, the Trump administration has shuttered the U.S. Agency for International Development and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, started the process to dismantle the Department of Education, and made significant cuts to the workforces at the Department of Health and Human Services, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Internal Revenue Service. At least 217 lawsuits have been filed challenging the administration's actions, 15 explicitly related to DOGE. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
And today, to mark 100 days, President Trump is set to visit Michigan, where the administration has suggested he will ease some of the tariffs around auto imports, specifically foreign auto parts used in domestically manufactured vehicles. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have a look at your forecast as we make our way through the week with some changes, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. It is 6:16 and we are back after the break.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single pop-up burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday Special at A&W.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter.
The Heavy Hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
It's the mother of all giveaways, where one lucky viewer wins this awesome Mother's Day collection. Check it out. Enter to win each day on the contest page at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. From Jewelry Design Center, The Flower Bar, Curve Appeal, Fiction, and AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. We'll leave your AC in better condition than we found it, and you'll be happy. Call now to schedule your maintenance appointment. It's the thing to do every spring. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
It's the mother of all giveaways, where one lucky viewer wins this awesome Mother's Day collection. Check it out. Enter to win each day on the contest page at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. From Jewelry Design Center, The Flower Bar, Curve Appeal, Fiction, and AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
Good evening, everybody.
To make great newscasts, you need great resources and an experienced team.
We begin tonight with breaking news coming up.
Wendy Redman has been a leader in broadcast news for 20 years plus.
Monique Ledesma is
Wendy breaks big stories, produces special reports that make a difference, and brings the news home to you each evening.
It's sometimes dramatic, but always informative.
Wendy Redman, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now at 5, 6, and 6:30 on your side.
Always on your side.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and step right into the forecast for today. So we have a lot going on. First of all, it is going to be blustery out there for the fourth day in a row. The Kittitas Valley winds out of the north and west, 50 peak wind gusts, that is. between 50 to 55 miles per hour. Then in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, 45 to 50 miles per hour. That peak time frame would be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We get a reprieve on Wednesday, but then we have some more strong wind gusts to deal with in the same exact locations for this weekend. But first, let's time out some of the rainfall we're expecting for the rest of this morning with Futurecast radar. By 8 this morning should be situated right on top of the lower Columbia Basin and for the Blue Foothills. By 11 a.m., we're seeing the last gasp of that in Walla Walla and Pendleton. And then as we head into the afternoon, could just be some residual showers left over in the Blue Mountains or the Cascades, but should be mostly dry after that. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're thinking we could see from this round: between 0.2 to 0.3 inches in the Blue Mountains, upwards of 0.2 inches in the Blue Foothills. That would be some pretty beneficial stuff. We'll keep it dry for Wednesday and Thursday. Then there's that next storm system we're tracking in a Friday and Saturday. That one could provide a little bit more rainfall, upwards of 0.5 inches of rain in the Blue Mountains, 0.4 for the Cascades, between 0.1 to 0.2 in the Blue Foothills. Definitely a lot less for the valleys and for the basin. But the biggest impact from this round, once again, it's going to be the winds. For the fourth weekend in a row, that's a month straight of windy weekends in the Kittitas Valley. It's really hard to fathom. But anyway, once again, out of the northwest, between 50 to 55 miles per hour. And then for the Blue Foothills, between 40 to 45 miles per hour. So the strongest wind gusts with that storm system would go down on Saturday. And the reason why the winds are going to be so raucous is, look at the temperature disparity between Friday and Saturday. We're going to cool off by about 20 degrees. So feeling like summer for Thursday and Friday, but back to spring this weekend. Speaking of Friday, this is poised to be one of the warmest days of the year thus far. It could be up around 90 degrees in the Tri-Cities. It will be more like low to mid 80s in the valleys and mid 80s for the foothills. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain likely this morning, turning summer-like by the end of the week, but much cooler by this weekend. In Yakima, showers wrapping up this morning. Beautiful weather for the rest of the work week, then windy and substantially cooler by Saturday. In Ellensburg, the relentless stretch of winds will end tomorrow, only for more strong winds to come back into the picture starting on Saturday. In Hermiston, wet this morning with a windy day ahead, switching over to summer weather later this week, then back to spring by the weekend. Then for Walla Walla, rain likely today, drier and much warmer for Wednesday through Friday, then that big temperature drop-off for this weekend.
Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, some big names in the music scene are getting some much-deserved recognition in this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We'll tell you who the inductees are coming up in your entertainment headlines. It's 6:21 and we're back after the break.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Looking for high quality and low prices? Then Furniture Row's Super 7-Day Sale is for you. That's 7 days to find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, accent chairs and recliners, dining groups, bar stools, bedrooms, kids' beds, mattresses, and adjustable bases. Complete the look with our massive selection of rugs and accessories. Plus, score 48 months no-interest financing. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. But don't wait. The Super 7-Day Sale at Furniture Row ends Thursday.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Here at the clinic, we offer our medical weight loss program. Diabetes, and more broadly, insulin resistance, is a highly inflammatory state that increases our risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, as well as Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases.
Basically, it's the lack of awareness about what's creating that weight. There's lots of psychological aspects to that, so that where you come to is to a more centered place of feeling good and connected and positive about yourself, self-confidence.
You have access to over 100 weekly group fitness classes top-notch fitness facilities, cutting-edge scientific therapies integrated into your program, and dedicated coaches rooting for your success. We also offer options for pharmaceutical assistance. We create patient-specific game plans centered around the 7 essential elements, which are sleep, nutrition, atmosphere, breathing, movement, thought, and purpose.
So rather than just focus, it's not dieting and it's not focused on dieting, and that's not what we do here at Pacific Clinic. It's mind, body, physical, emotional, mental, and the combination of all of those things. And I think that makes us tremendously different than any of the other programs out there.
To get started, call 509-783-5465 and schedule an appointment with a client advocate today.
A great place for a family getaway. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Welcome back, 6:24 in your entertainment news this morning. It's time to rock out. We now know the names, nice work guys, of the artists who will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame later this year.
So it's a total of 7 artists, and they're part of this year's class. They're Chubby Checker, Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, Soundgarden, The White Stripes, Bad Company, and Joe Cocker.
The induction ceremony will take place in Los Angeles in November. Artists become eligible for nomination if it has been at least 25 years since they released their first commercial recording.
I love it.
And talking more entertainment news, get ready to do a double take or maybe even a triple take as the latest celebrity lookalike contest has hit the internet.
Okay, out of Miami, Florida, contestants lined up to compete in a lookalike contest to see who most resembled the Puerto Rican artist Bad Bunny.
But who hopped away with the title of Ultimate Lookalike, Jessica?
Bad Bunny, bad me. No. Well, it wasn't just enough to look like the musician. Contestants also had to recite the rapper's lyrics in front of a crowd.
Hola, mi gente. Soy Bad Bunny. Aquí estamos en una actividad.
So,
wow, that was something.
Back to the winner. It was a guy by the name of Kevin Amaro, and a 3-year-old boy named Marcelo coming in a close second.
Oh, I like that. I like the little...
Bad Bunny's a little bit older than 3. I feel like age...
You think that should play a factor?
He got the cute award.
Sure. He got like the...
and how's my Bad Bunny?
Well, it was better than that one.
I think so. Yeah, that was... it
was a choice.
Yeah.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A Pasco City leader just earned a major leadership award, but he's not done yet.
That's right. We'll hear from Leo Perales on his plans for the future of Pasco, and that is coming up in your next half hour.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers?
Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
American Idol is new on ABC.
Watch Sundays and Mondays on Apple Valley News Now. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Fiction at J. Bookwalter presents the Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Live music in the best company, friends, food, and spirit at Fiction at J. Bookwalter now through October. Check our concert series lineup and times by going to bookwalterwines.com under the Shop tab or use our QR code here. The Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Proceeds benefiting the Children's Hospital and WSU.
At
At Fred's, discover the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer, an industry exclusive 2 ways to sanitize. Remove bacteria and sanitize your way with the Cold Sanitize option, paired with Lysol Laundry Sanitizer, or use the NSF Certified Hot Sanitize setting, the most efficient washer on the market. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Discover Curve Appeal in Kennewick, your personalized med spa. Experience our one-on-one services and treatments designed to make you look and feel your best. From laser hair removal or electrolysis to Botox or body contouring and laser treatments, we tailor our services to your unique needs. Our medical professionals ensure you leave feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Ready to look and feel your best? Visit CurveAppealTC.com to schedule your consultation.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, you're making it rain with that 3-degree guarantee, kind of getting us there.
Dollar-wise.
Well, if we're making it rain, that means someone's winning the cash.
Right.
No one's won the cash yet. At least from this go round, because the
They're just
jackpot's
increasing it so that you can really make it rain on someone.
Yes, yes, but not me, and not like that.
Oh, not like that. Anyways, let's look at that.
Jackpot's up to $300 thanks to our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. I went with a forecast high of 75 in Pasco Tri-Cities yesterday, and I verified at 74. So the jackpot, yes, now up to $300. So for today, the stakes are this. I'm going with forecast high of 74 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 71 to 77, the jackpot's going to go up to $325. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is First Alert Radar. We continue to track this band of overall, it's pretty light rainfall, but there is this little patch of some moderate to heavy rainfall in northern Benton County. It's about to cross over into Franklin County, so if you're commuting on 240 up towards Hanford, just know you could run into some of that. Okay, here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. You're going to need the raincoat for this morning, but later today, mainly after 11 a.m., should be mostly dry t-shirt weather out there, as high temperatures are going to get up into the 60s and 70s for lower elevations. Also, we're going to be tracking big-time wind gusts once again, already gusting around 30 miles per hour in the Hermiston area, out of the north and west around 35 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. And it's going to be the Kittitas Valley where we're going to end up seeing the strongest wind gusts once again. Right now, temperatures for lower elevations down into the 50s, might feel a little bit cooler in some of those wind gusts, but like I mentioned a little bit later today, we'll have highs up into the 60s and 70s, mostly dry after 11 a.m. So I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, talking about those rain chances and the wind gusts. All that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Josh. We start your half hour of news out of the legislature. We gave you a recap of what happened during the session once it's adjourned. Just yesterday we talked about it, but now we're looking at Senate Bill 5393. It proposes the closing of a care facility in Washington. So the bill passed both the House and the Senate over the weekend, and this means Rainier School, a facility in Buckley that helps people with severe intellectual and developmental disabilities, will close by June 30th of 2027. It will close when there are no long-term residents left, and thanks to a new amendment, they are now no longer accepting any long-term patients. So this bill had originally proposed the closing of another facility, the Yakima Valley School. However, the final version of the bill focused solely on Rainier School. Well, last week, the Washington Federation of State Employees met to discuss what this closure could mean for workers and families.
To see what our staff does with our clients and interaction, it's absolutely amazing. There's always something to do for our clients. It's a lot less expensive for our clients to live there than it is like at a solo house.
Our clients have been dealt a raw deal in life, and now they have to worry about losing their homes because of government mismanagement of our taxes.
Well, the Yakima facility had legislation passed in 2017 prohibiting new long-term admissions that year. The legislation sought closure to full residential care once the facility had 8 residents, a plan that remains unchanged. As of right now, the bill is awaiting the signature of the governor.
Pasco City Councilman Leo Perales announces he's running for re-election. He says if he's re-elected, he'll work to bring a Trader Joe's and Chick-fil-A to the city.
Losing Costco, that was really a big hit to the community. And so, honestly, I want to try really hard on the council in promoting economic development. I really want to see Trader Joe's out there. I want to entice Chick-fil-A to come here. They're already looking to open up a spot over in Richland. We need to be we need to adapt to the ever-changing economic challenges we have, and we need to start actively enticing these individuals and companies to come to Pasco. And so I'm going to work really hard to do that.
Now, other things he wants to work on if he's re-elected include homeless issues in the downtown area and also working on an overpass for Road 76. As of right now, no one else has thrown their hat into the ring.
Also to Pasco, the Tri-Cities Airport and Allegiant Air are celebrating 20 years of partnership and providing low-cost, nonstop travel to residents and the surrounding region. Since starting service in 2005, the airport says Allegiant has flown more than 1.4 million passengers in and out of PSC. The airline's strategy is to offer nonstop flights from small to medium-sized markets. Now today, Allegiant offers service to Las Vegas and Phoenix. And more great news now coming from the Memorial Foundation. Officials say through the community support of the CHAMPS campaign, you can now get seen for maternal fetal medicine issues at the Yakima Children's Village. This will be the clinic's newly expanded medical specialty wing. Some patients say that these services are critical to safely have a baby, as maternal fetal medicine services helps women, especially during high-risk pregnancies. This will also help many patients since they won't have to drive out of town for these kinds of appointments.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, AI is evolving and influencing our lives in countless ways. But now new studies suggest that more people are using AI to plan their vacations. We'll take a deeper dive into the growing trend.
Plus, when we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. It's 6:35, and there's that live look outside. Are there some raindrops on that camera at Dust Devils Stadium in Pasco? We'll find out in your forecast after the break.
Hello there. Watch Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Feeling overwhelmed? It's time to shed your worries, literally. At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got the perfect shed to clear the clutter, create space, and bring peace to your life. Man cave, playhouse, done. Want something custom? We'll build it just the way you want it. And we deliver for free. Spring is here. Shed the mess, shed the stress. See dealer for special pricing. Visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds today, 3680 West Van Giesen in West Richland.
Cinco de Mayo is coming up, and your Dust Devils are celebrating by playing as the Viñeros de Tri-City all weekend. Friday, May 2nd, Gutter Girl invites you to the ballpark for Influencer Night and a family feast. Select food and drinks for only $2.50 each. Saturday, May 3rd, Roto-Rooter invites you to cheer on the Viñeros and stick around for a fabulous post-game fireworks show. For tickets, head to the official site, DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, meet the next generation of vehicles. It's the perfect time to get a Civic Hybrid, the 2025 North American Car of the Year. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. We'll leave your AC in better condition than we found it, and you'll be happy. Call now to schedule your maintenance appointment. It's the thing to do every spring. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. And it's this Wednesday for 8 short hours at all Walker's Furniture locations, where you'll save an additional 20% off all furniture, all bedroom, all dining room, all living room. It's all marked down 20% off already low prices. Plus, you can save now and pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's Furniture.
Ready for a weekend family getaway?
A lot of people come out to go fishing, wakeboarding, water skiing, jet skiing. You can do pretty much all your water sports.
Well then, you'll want to watch Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Next Live, Daily Tucci from Tucci in Italy.
Whoa, that is delicious.
I want to go to dinner with you. I know you know what to order.
I do know what to order.
Plus Ed Helms.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County, where the highs are going to be around 50 up in the Cascades, mid-60s in the Kittitas Valley. But the biggest facet to today's forecast, once again, going to be the winds for the fourth day in a row, might I add. They could be above 50-mile-per-hour gust in the Kittitas Valley. Today I'm officially going with a peak gust of 55 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Then in the Yakima Valley, these winds are a little bit lighter, still out of the north and west around 30 miles per hour. Will be into the low to mid 70s, and there will be a little chance of showers in the valley for this morning. The chances are definitely going to be a lot greater. In fact, we're already seeing the rainfall this morning in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Bluefoot Hills. So just keep that in mind as we pan through the forecast. But otherwise, the winds out of the south and west around 35 miles per hour. These highs generally in the low to mid 70s. And then for the Bluefoot Hills, these highs mostly in the 60s, could cut it very close to 70 for places like Walla Walla and Milton Freewater. Will be in the 50s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, and the winds out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour. The gust around 50 miles per hour for places like Lexington and Heppner. Not as rowdy up towards Walla Walla, Milton Freewater, or Pendleton. Now let's talk about the big picture, the seasonal snowfall deficits and surpluses we're tracking for this time of the year. Big time deficits in the Cascades, especially for the upper Yakima Basin, and thankfully we do have some surpluses in the Blue Mountains. And we have more storm systems on the way, not much snow, but rain and winds galore. I'll tell you about those coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. Well, artificial intelligence could help you plan your next perfect getaway. With summer travel season quickly approaching, have you put the final touches on your vacation plans? AI could help. Reporter Michael Yoshida has more on how this technology is impacting travel planning.
From flights to hotels and activities, trip planning can be a lot.
AI is really wonderful in doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Gabriela Garcia has organized several family vacations using artificial intelligence.
Helping source ideas, helping with organization.
ChatGPT can help with research and brainstorming, Hopper for hotel and flight prices, Mindtrip for itineraries. There are a whole host of other platforms and apps you can choose from too. Garcia says no matter which you use, be specific and remember.
It doesn't take into account things like mood or weather, or if you're going to be hungry between certain activities.
That personal touch is why travel agent Alexis Williams says even with AI growing in popularity, her business continues to thrive.
AI can come and give her ideas like this is their itinerary and this is it, and now you need to go here and book it. See, I'm going to do all that booking for you.
Travel bloggers feeling the rise of smart tech too.
I wrote a blog post about a destination that I don't think anybody wrote about. And then I looked it up on ChatGPT and I found very similar information.
Chris Oberman says providing nuance and perspectives a machine can't is key, but also acknowledges AI is here to stay, and now another
piece of the puzzle in the whole decision process. You read something on a blog and maybe you ask something like ChatGPT as well, and then from that information you base your next trip.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning, and giving you that live look from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. A couple of raindrops falling out there. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back with your full first alert forecast and what we can expect throughout the day. It is 6:43. We'll be right back.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single Papa Burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
Wild Horse Resort and Casino presents a Mexican Mother's Day celebration with Mariachi Estrellas de Mexico, live on May 10th. Feel the rhythm, savor the vibes, and dance the night away with live mariachi melodies from Jalisco and Michoacan. Celebrate Mom and enjoy drink specials, dancing, and more. Tickets are on sale now at wildhorseresort.com and the app. Feliz Dia de las Madres at Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. And it's this Wednesday for 8 short hours at all Walker's Furniture locations, where you'll save an additional 20% off all furniture, all bedroom, all dining room, all living room. It's all marked down 20% off already low prices. Plus, you can save now and pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's Furniture.
Lights, music, magic. At Giza Powerhouse Theater in Walla Walla, the stage comes alive with electrifying concerts, Broadway-style productions, side-splitting comedy, and unforgettable performances. This isn't just a theater. It's a destination for world-class entertainment in Eastern Washington. From the moment the curtain rises, you'll be swept into the extraordinary. Don't miss your chance to experience it all. Get your tickets now online. Giza Powerhouse Theater, where every show is a showstopper.
For 60 years, Woods Nursery has been inspiring families to create beautiful, joyful gardens in our community. Spanning 5 acres, it's one of the largest nurseries in southeastern Washington, offering a vast selection of plants, trees, and flowers, all grown in the USA. Explore handcrafted ornamental pieces made by American artisans, and get expert guidance from 3 generations of the Wood family, dedicated to helping you design stunning landscapes. Visit us today and discover everything you need to bring your outdoor space to life.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
A great place for a family getaway. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. The wind's going to be very impactful once again for today. That peak time frame from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., especially in the Kittitas Valley and the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Those peak gusts between 45 to 55 miles per hour. We'll have more to say about the winds later in this forecast, but for now, let's go ahead and show you Futurecast radar. We'll put this into motion. By 8 this morning, still dealing with showers, mostly light showers. Could have some pockets of some moderate to heavy rainfall embedded within this, but mostly light for the basin, for the foothills. By 11 this morning, looks like that's mainly going to be wrapping up in the foothills, and then after that, just a few residual showers left over, but it should be pretty dry at that point. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're thinking we could see from this round, upwards of maybe 0.2 to 0.3 inches for the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, not much for the rest of the viewing area. Okay, we'll turn dry for Wednesday and Thursday. There's another storm system we're tracking into Friday and Saturday. This one looking a little bit wetter, as we could get upwards of maybe ½ an inch of rainfall for the Blue Mountains, maybe a little bit less than that for the Cascades, up to 0.2 inches of rainfall in the foothills, and much less than that for the valleys and for the basin. But the biggest impact from this system, once again, going to be from the winds, as they could gust between 50 to 55 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley on Saturday, between 40 to 45 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills. That would make it 4 weekends in a row that we've seen this in the Kittitas Valley, which I don't know what the odds of that are, but it seems like they would be pretty low. Okay, we'll be seasonal for Tuesday and Wednesday, feeling summer-like for Thursday and Friday, but the winds are going to be so blustery because of a cold front that's going to sweep through, dropping our temperatures off by about 20 degrees between Friday and Saturday. So touching on Friday, this is going to be our first real taste of summer, as we could be within striking distance of 90 degrees in the Tri-Cities, low to mid-80s for the valleys, and we'll likely be in the low to mid-80s for the foothills as well. So a couple different seasons over the next 7 days. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain likely this morning, turning summer-like by the end of the week, but much, much cooler by this weekend. In Yakima, showers wrapping up this morning. Beautiful weather for the rest of the work week, then windy and substantially cooler by Saturday. In Ellensburg, the relentless stretch of winds will end tomorrow, only for more strong winds to come back into the picture starting on Saturday. Then in Hermiston, wet this morning with a windy day ahead, switching over to summer weather later this week, then switching back to spring by this weekend. Then for Walla Walla, rain likely today, drier and much warmer for Wednesday through Friday than that big time temperature drop off for this weekend. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new details on those NFL draft pranks.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
On the heels of Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders receiving this prank phone call during the second round from a college student pretending to be the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
What's our next pick right here, man?
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
It turns out that Sanders wasn't the only NFL hopeful to receive a fake call. Alan Graham, the father of Michigan player Mason Graham, who was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns, says his son was the victim of a prank call too, telling the Detroit Free Press someone made a TikTok while crank calling him and showed his number on the video. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you what the NFL is now doing to address these pranks. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler? It's a bit of a dinosaur because albuterol only treats symptoms, not inflammation. Asthma experts support rescue that treats both symptoms and inflammation. It's time to replace your rescue with Air Supra. Air Supra is the first and only dual-action asthma rescue inhaler FDA approved to treat symptoms and help prevent asthma attacks. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Air Supra should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic reactions like rash, mouth or tongue swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing, or chest pain. Using Air Supra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections, or heart problems like faster heart rate and higher blood pressure. Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help. Ask your doctor about Air Supra, a dual-action rescue inhaler for asthma.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:51. It's time for your morning sprint. We're going to start off with your national headlines. This morning, we're learning the release of one of the Slenderman attackers has been delayed. During a hearing, it came to light that if Morgan Geyser was released as planned, she would be within 8 miles of her victim. Back in 2018, Geyser was sentenced to 40 years to a mental institution for the attempted murder of a classmate, Peyton Leutner. Geyser and a friend admitted to luring Leutner to a park where they stabbed her 19 times to appease a fictional internet character known as Slenderman. All 3 girls were 12 years old at the time, and yesterday the judge ordered that a new group home be found for Geyser.
And Amazon launched a batch of satellites into orbit on Monday. It marks the biggest stride yet in the tech giant's efforts to join a race to blanket the planet in internet connectivity beamed from space. 27 satellites took flight atop an Atlas V rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. The launch kicks off the first installment for Amazon's Project Kuiper, which will eventually use a constellation of 3,200 satellites in its first phase.
In your health news, a new study finds phthalates could be much worse than previously known. The study shows the chemicals may have contributed to more than 10% of all deaths of heart disease back in 2018, and that's in both men and women all over the world. Phthalates inflame coronary arteries, which can accelerate heart disease, and you can find them in food packaging, clothing, furniture, even children's toys. Exposure can come from breathing or ingesting it. Experts recommend using glass containers to store food, also unscented detergent and fresh fruits over canned ones.
6:53, and here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Kennewick police responding to shots fired near Clearwater and Fillmore last night around 6:30. Take a look, video from the scene. Officers say they found some shell casings but didn't know if anyone had been hit. Police were investigating 2 different locations using drones and canines to search near the Clearwater Square apartments. And then we were told around 7:45, 3 suspects were taken into custody. Officials say one of them was a young man wanted for robbery.
A fire breaks out at a business on North 3rd Avenue in Pasco just before 10 last night. Firefighters found a small fire burning near the doorway, and many area fire crews assisted, and they had it under control within 30 minutes. No one was hurt, but there is damage to the door and some materials inside the building. The cause is under investigation.
And for the second year in a row, Kennewick has been named one of the best places to live in the United States. It's according to Livability's list of top 100 places, and Kennewick came in number 50th. The city ranked high for its transportation, housing, and cost of living, also for its environment with so many outdoor amenities and activities, and of course the robust wine scene. Vancouver and Spokane also made the list, as well as 3 cities out of Oregon.
And what's in a name? Well, one winery in Prosser is asking for the community's input in helping name their new red wine blend. Thurston Wolf Winery is looking for names for their 50-50 blend of Malbec and Petit Verdot. You can email a name idea to carmen@thurstonwolfwinery.com, and submitting a name will get you a chance to win a $100 gift card to that winery. And final day that you can submit a name is May 30th.
Well, if your personal library could use a few more books, the Friends of the Mid-Columbia Library has their biannual book sale starting tomorrow. It'll be at the Kennewick branch on Union Street, goes through May 4th, and there will be deals on gently used books, DVDs, CDs, and audiobooks. Money raised will help support local libraries, and if you're a Friends member, you have early access starting today from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Trending now, police in Sarasota, Florida had to chase down a runaway boat, one that had no driver.
That sounds wild. And take a look, it was all caught on video. According to the department's Facebook page, the unmanned boat was cruising in circles at up to 40 miles an hour just off the Gulf Coast. A number of agencies responded after several attempts. The Sarasota Police Marine Unit, with the help of Sea Tow, was able to use a tow line to stop the boat's engine. Aliens?
That's really spooky.
It was wild.
The effort that the police went through slowed the vessel enough to safely allow Sarasota police to board it and shut off the engine. The operator of the boat later told authorities what had happened was.
So he says a larger vessel had cut him off, and he tried to navigate the wake, but he was flung off the boat and he had minor injuries. Okay.
Oh
so,
my goodness.
I'm glad he's okay. And
what a scary situation.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the aliens idea. That would have been nice. No, I'm just kidding. No,
nice.
No, it wouldn't have been nice. That would have been terrifying.
It would have been wild. All right, let's talk weather around here. Probably not getting the boat out this morning.
No, definitely not. It is a wet start out there. We're seeing some rainfall spanning from the lower Columbia Basin to the Blue Foothills. That heaviest patch of rain still up in northern Benton and Franklin counties. It's really transitioning from Benton into Franklin County now, so that commute on Washington 240 up towards Hanford could be a bit of a wet one. Winds gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour right now in the Kittitas Valley, up around 30 miles per hour in Hermiston. Winds will continue to be a factor throughout the rest of today. Right now, temperatures in the 50s, pretty mild for lower elevations, but in the rain, in the winds, it's not going to feel as comfortable. A bit later today, 60s and 70s will be mostly dry after 11 a.m. Should end up being a nice day, but again, goodness, the winds. 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Kittitas Valley, windy again.
How long have you lived here?
I don't want
to be used to it by now.
I don't want to expose myself, but like the consistency of the winds is just relentless. Jeez. I want to talk about something else.
It gives you something to talk about at least.
Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. It's applevalley.newsnow.com.
Good Morning America is up next. We'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5.
Have a great day.